Well, hello everybody. Welcome to our little weekly update from on board Spirit here at the Boatworks on the Gold Coast. This week has really been a lot of sanding, a lot of fairing and a lot of sanding, which has been awesome. It's allowed us, because of the weather, and we've sort of been able to focus more on these small jobs. So this is where the black water tank pump out was up forward. It was just a monstrosity. So yeah, we're changing all of the plumbing and the way that'll work, and we're just getting rid of the weight and the huge penetration that was through the deck there. Anyway, we've done that, and now we've faired it. We've used the fairing compound. The same with this was like I think I've spoken about it before, but it was like like the top of a Samson post, and the way they did it was they laminated layers of plywood together, glued it on the deck, and then they installed it just behind the staysail, or the inner forestay attachment point. And so that's a strong point because it goes into a bulkhead. There's a bulkhead there. It's a carbon chain plate. When you look down the bulkhead, you can see the carbon chain plate. So yeah, it's a strong point. So that would have been for towing or putting the boat on a big mooring. We've got a lot of other options. I don't feel that we need it. And not only that, but the timber was delaminating and rotting. Chloe has finished sanding all the foredeck here, which is just awesome. And it looks great. It really does. She's done an amazing job. Sanding off, 3-4 layers of old non-skid is a lot of work, and yeah, she's amazing, I have to say. I'm very, very lucky to have such a great partner. When there's two people and you're on the same path, you can get so much done. There was a little heater down in that, down in the cabin here. There was a diesel heater previously, and that's where the chimney for it was. That's gone. You see, I have bogged and faired where the old pad eyes used to be. Chloe started to sand out here on the starboard float bow, and you can see we had some small, and it looked like osmosis, but I knew it wasn't. I knew it was in the paint because you could hear it and tell that it wasn't under a laminate. It was just the paint. No, it wasn't the paint. It was actually the fairing. The fairing was probably gassing off. Maybe it was, I don't know, because I don't know the history of the boat. But anyway, something inside was gassing off and creating these air bubbles. And so we've ground them back and we're filling them. So it looks like the boat has chicken pox at the moment. And then doing the same over here on the other side as well. You can see I've just been marking out because we're redoing the deck, the way that the halyards and everything runs. So I've just been marking some stuff out. Same here, fed where the penetrations were in the beam, and the same, a couple of spots around here where there looked to be like a little bit of osmosis, but there wasn't. It's just bubbles under the fairing. And then, wow, look at this. Okay, so we weren't really happy with we didn't really like the shape of the new hardtop, so we've thrown it in the bin and we've gone for this more colonial style. We feel like this looks really cool. It's going to be really radical and different, but we really like it. We're going to have eaves that come out off the roof and make it real colonial. No, only joking. This is actually going to be our hard top for the cockpit. We're making a hard top that covers the cockpit, and we've used the old roof as the template. Again, use the old roof as virtually like a mould. I think I was saying in the last videos, it's really important for us to maintain the look of the boat. We think the boat looks great. The shapes and the curves, the way that Chris White has designed the boat is really nice. He's got a really nice eye for the lines. And so we don't want to take away from that. So the new roof is based on the old one, and then this new hardtop that we're doing will be exactly the same. so that when you're in the dinghy or when you're on the shore looking at the boat or from another boat, it'll look like it's got the same lines, it's got the same camber, it'll have the same forward slope. And yeah, pretty excited about that. It's going to be really nice. We're not sure how big it'll be. Like, it's huge, you can see it's huge, but we'll soften it up, we'll round the shapes, yeah, there's a lot of work to be done on that. We've got to fair in bolt rope tracks as well. Again, you know we hate penetrations, so instead of having, you know, these little push button clips, which are a penetration, and instead of sort of, you know, having things like that for awnings and sunshades to clip onto, we will have a bolt rope track, and so it'll actually slide in. It'll be underneath as well. Anyway, there's lots to talk about with that. I've gotten a piece of foam in here and glued. You can see, yep, I put this in a couple of days ago. First thing I did was grind back the area underneath and prepare it, vacuum it, then wipe it down. Then put in a really thick layer of glue. Then, this was obviously prepared as well, ground back and wiped. Then you can see these holes here and here and here and over here and one up here. So then I screwed this down, and these are holes that we drilled in it beforehand so that the glue can ooze up. As you screw it down, you need a way for the glue to get out and the air. So it oozed out all the edges, which is what you want it to do, and it oozed out all the holes so that you know that that is bonded really well to the substrate underneath it. And then the next thing we do is, you can see we've given it quite a large lamination surface, over about 70 mil all around. Some places it's a little bit smaller, but yeah, you want a good bonding surface around the edge, and then we will put a really nice layer or two of glass over that, heavy triax probably. Yes, so we got this laminated. We did that yesterday, which was a big job and really cool. So once that's had a few days to harden up, we'll flip it over and we'll laminate the other side. That's non-structural. You know, it's just a hard top for the cockpit. So you can see that peel ply didn't go down real well. It's going to make it a bit harder to fare. You can see how the peel ply here is really smooth, and you can see here there's a few air bubbles. I don't know why that happened. It's looking, you can see it looks really bad compared to the other one. Anyway, it just gives you a few little higher areas that you need to sand down. Won't be too bad. You can see, just gives you these little glossy areas where there's one of these air bubbles. So you just got to grind it down a little bit. Just makes it a little bit more work as opposed to this. See how much flatter and fairer that is. And you can see that one there has got a few of these little spots. So when you're doing this type of work, it's definitely to your benefit to work slower and to do a proper job, because it saves you in the long run, just with little things. That's a perfect example there. And I'm not sure why that happened, because I rolled that out with Chloe and it was looking really flat and perfect. So we should have come and checked it, but we didn't. Anyway, yeah, nothing really happening on the inside at the moment. Inside's looking exactly the same. We will, over the next couple of weeks, now that we've done this hard top here, once we've done that and it's off the boat, then Chloe and I will be able to start to cut off the old roof, which will be really cool. It's going to be like being in a cabriolet. I picked up some rubber. This is what we're going to use to seal this inspection hatch. This plate, this is the inspection port for the centerboard. Just so everyone know, a centerboard pivots. If it pivots with a pin, it's a centerboard. If it goes directly up and down, it's called a dagger board. So in the old Spirit, we used to have a dagger board, which went up and down. And on the new Spirit, we've got a centerboard. So we've had both. And I have to say, give me a centerboard any day over a dagger board. Yeah, really, really, really cool. Just the ease of putting it up and down has been, is really, really good. Anyway, that rubber gasket will go around here. We'll cut it and make it to fit here. And then we'll make this inspection port out of solid fiberglass. It needs to be super strong. You get a lot of pressure in here with the water coming up and down, especially when you're at sea in big conditions. It's trying to blow this off. So it needs to be really strong. And you need to have a good gasket. The old one was hurled in with 5200 and we had to destroy it to get it out. I would really like this to be able to come in and out with ease. So we need to make a good gasket for it. And that we have with this stuff here, Clark rubber. That's about all for in here. Been working on these areas, removed the solid fiberglass pad that was here where the old winch was. So this is now just one big smooth back beam. Also removed the solid glass pad where the pad eye used to fit for the main sheet. Sanding in these, fairing in these as best as we can. There'll be a little bit of a high spot there, but once you've got non-skid on it, you won't see that. Yeah, did a little bit of work in the back cabin as well. Just cut out, decord and cut out the slot for the hydraulic pipe so they can go through at an angle a lot better. Decord and put a hole in here to run a wire. We put in what I did was put a new foam bulkhead in the back there. There was just a bit of plywood where it was a bit delaminated, so I've just pulled off the delaminated ply. We epoxied it all, and then we've just put in a new foam bulkhead over the top of it. The problem was that the old ply bulkhead wasn't fully glassed, and the middle of the epoxy had a crack in it and a bit of moisture. They must have filled this void up at one stage. And of course, then it gets into the plywood, and if no one does anything about it and doesn't let it dry out properly, well then, you get the delamination of the ply. So anyway, we took out all the weak ply and we've reinforced it with a full new foam bulkhead there. Disconnected the hydraulic, the linear, the ram from the autopilot just so I could get the pipes out. And really happy with this. Also removed, there was a big pad eye up on the deck there, and I've removed that from here. Yeah, really cool. Very cool. We're getting all of these are all little jobs, but there's just so many of them. All of the little holes and removing pad eyes and fitting things, and but really happy with the way the back deck's come up. That's ready for high build. And once I high build it, the area is going to look totally different, look really nice and neat. Removed all the hatches, so they're going up to my dad. This afternoon I'm going to drive up to my mum and dad's. They live about an hour away, so it's really nice being able to go and visit them every couple of weekends. He's reconditioning all the hatches for us, so we'll take them up to him. I wanted to quickly mention the other two boats, the same as Spirit. So originally Spirit was called Hammerhead, and she was the first Chris White Hammerhead 54 to be built. Now, Bill that built this boat, he built her with another chap called Charlie. And we've been very, very fortunate to be in touch with Charlie. Pretty much since we bought Spirit, we've been in touch with Charlie. And Charlie has been a wealth of information. He's been very, very helpful to us, supplying us with photos and as much information about the boat, how it's built and the materials used, the design, and any little changes that he's made to make the boat better and things that he's noticed. And we really, really appreciate everything that Charlie's done to help us. I want to say thank you very much, Charlie. And yeah, it's been a really great help. And he's got a Hammerhead 54 called Flying Fish, and Flying Fish to me is what we're striving to do with Spirit. We're trying to create or recreate a flying fish. She's incredibly well maintained, and you can see from the photos and videos of her online that she's not only loved but built very, very well. But there are some small differences between the designs. What they've done on the other Hammerheads is, because the cabin is wider, which is what we're doing, we're making the cabin wider, but we're not making it as wide as their cabins. Their cabin nearly comes out to the hull, comes out quite a long way, their cabin top. So we've still got a little bit of a side deck to run sheets and halyards up for the jammers. But what they do is they've created this cantilever deck that comes out, and then it comes back in under. So it's like a little V section that attaches to the side of the hull here, and then that's what the net's attached to. The nets come up and they actually attach up here, not down low. So when you walk out of the cockpit, you don't drop down onto the net, you stay up at this deck level. So the deck really it virtually has like a wing that comes along here like this on the outside. But that definitely gives the boat a little bit more torsional strength. Not a lot, but I'd say it gives us the side of the hull here a little bit more strength. Wow, you can hear that rain coming down. It's pouring. And yeah, it just gives them a higher net to walk out on. And yeah, I'll just quickly show you what's been going on down here in the engine room. I'll probably need a light. But yeah, I've been sanding the engine room down here. So you can see this is unis. You can see all how it's very patchy. It's because you can't sand too much or else you'll sand through the uni. So you've got to be really careful. And yeah, you just got to do what you can do. But you can see I've sanded all in here. Everything's prepped. And yeah, we're going to start painting soon. Now this will be a great little space. It'll be spotless in here. And I'm just going to reinforce some of these a little bit. These are just glued on. So I'm going to run a little bit of glass along there just to give them a bit of extra strength. And we'll redo the cove and we'll re-glass them on. Well, they're not even glassed on, they're glued, so we'll glass them on. But yeah, pretty happy with the way everything's coming up in here. It's going to be a really nice space. I really like the engine room to look nice and tidy. See, we've faired and blocked these holes in the deck here as well. Yeah, it's just millions of little jobs like that. The same with that step there. I'm going to glass and cove that step. There's a little crack in it. So it's just a multitude of jobs like that. So many of them. But yeah, we're getting there. We're getting there. Slowly but surely. And yeah, that's about all on the boat, up on deck. There's probably a few things I've missed, but yeah, so we feel like it was a relatively quiet week last week, but it probably wasn't. We've got a lot done when I walk through it like this. Fairing here, slowly getting all those areas done. Also, we did the scuppers. You can see the scuppers. These are really nice. Wait till they're painted. They're going to look awesome. So 2 cockpit. There was also 2 holes going into the gas locker, which was absurd. It's a sealed locker. It doesn't get any moisture or anything in it. It's really just a hole so that if there's a gas leak, it can leak out of the locker. And so we blocked up one of the holes and just left the forward hole. But yeah, you can see those. Well, and then there's a little one here on the waterline as well. And this one here is for the drain from the cockpit. Then we got the sink there, but that's well above the waterline, so I'm not going to worry about that one. But yeah, we got all those done, all the scuppers. I've been sanding a bit. I'm trying to do like an hour a day on the anti-foul or on the copper coat. So I slowly work my way up the boat. And yeah, if I just do an hour a day, it's not too bad, but it's really hard on the shoulders. It's hard work sanding back that copper coat. And you see it's going to look great. The roof, we've done a bit of work on this, but this is structural, so it's very important that we have the right conditions, the right humidity and the right temps to be doing this. So we've prepped it. We've got a really nice cove that goes right around it now, filled in all the holes, tried to fair it up as best as we can, and faired the corners a bit, just working on getting it a little bit fairer and a bit nicer. And that'll be, Chloe and I'll get into this week. We'll get in there and glass that, and then we'll be running the unis up it, sorting it all out, and then it'll be time to flip it over, cut the windows out, make the window molds for the window frames, and then while that's being done, we'll be fairing it, and then the window frames will be dropped in and be time for it to go up on the boat. And by the time it goes up on the boat, we'll have that one cut out. So I'd say another 4 weeks, and we should see that up on the boat being within another month we should start to be seeing that upstairs, hopefully. 4 to 6 weeks. You can see I've done the scuppers on this side as well. Yeah, again, super happy with the way they came out. I just got a PVC pipe, just for anyone that's wondering. I got a PVC pipe like that, and then you just cut it. You just cut it at the angle that you want. And I'm not sure if I have one, but yeah, here we go. So yeah, you just cut it at the angle, and you end up with a really nice little piece like that, and then you just fiberglass that onto the boat, and you end up with like a really nice combing over the scupper. So that's another. I made about 7 or 8 of them, and and then you just sort of put that on the boat, and then you mark around it, and then where the mark is, you grind it back to the laminate so that you've got something to cove and then to glass it onto, and you've obviously got to sand this back. But yeah, sand it back, stick it on with a hot glue gun, cove it, glass it, fair it, and you're good to go. You got a really nice little moulding over your scuppers, and that way you don't get any water up into the cockpit. Been fairing that. That's that little mount that I'm making for the rudder feedback unit. Yeah, been cleaning the shed. We gave the shed a really good, Chitty gave it a vacuum yesterday. More foam panels, because we've still got some more, we've got the, bulkhead floors up forward to do yet, and a few more things. Got rudders all sanded, drilled out all the holes that were in it and filled them with epoxy. Took off this as well. This is the bit that I was just talking about, that the Dyneema used to go around to hold the rudder down. That used to be mounted on the rudder there like that, which just made that whole back deck area horrible. You can imagine having that right in the middle of your porch or your balcony. Yeah, it's pretty ordinary. So anyway, what will be is a little bit of fiberglass tube or PVC, and then the dowel will go into that. That's all. That'll be gone. And then what we might do is I might down the back here just do a soft loop. So if we ever need to pick the rudder up or anything, we've got a soft loop there to attach to. And when I talk about soft loop, I mean something like this. It's a soft loop. I've got it all taped up, but that there is it's 4 strands of 3mm. So yeah, it's quite beefy and quite strong. And that will, instead of having those stainless steel eye bolts that came out. We've now got a rope loop, a soft loop to attach to. I'm going to do a small channel up here, just a little one. And then, yeah, that rope loop there will attach to the board down line. And then this will attach to the board up line. So the next thing I'll do is I will grind this back and prep it a lot neater. And then I will probably put some biax over it. Maybe 1 or 2 layers of biax just to seal it. And then the rope loop will just hang out the top like that. And the up and down lines will lash to these rope loops. So we won't have anything that rusts. And the best thing is really easy to replace. To replace it, you've just got to get your multi-tool, dig out the old bog, cut through it, pull it, smash it up with a chisel and a hammer, pull that out and then replace the rope loop. I can't see that we're going to have to replace it. It's not in the sun. It's in a pretty protected environment. And yeah, I think they'll work really well, actually. I'm really happy about that. I much prefer soft loops as opposed to penetrations. Anyway, everyone, have a really, really great weekend. And if you're out there on the water sailing, enjoy it. We're very jealous. We wish we were out there with you sailing. But yeah, give us a few months, another 2 or 3 months, and we'll have this old girl back in the water and sailing, which we can't wait. Really cannot wait. All right, best wishes, everyone. All the best from a very wet Boatworks.